What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 405 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, and of course viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast, right here on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. KB, Deej, and the mountain man himself, Hoots in the fold, ready to rock and roll. We got a fun one in store for the people, as this is indeed OTB After Dark. For the ones that know, you know. If you don't know, you're about to find out. We're going to recap the mini week of NLL action. We're going to dive into a fully loaded slate of NLL games, as each team will play this weekend. Finally, it only took us 3 weeks. We'll get into picks. An absolute legend of the game retired today. One of our friends of the program signed a big old extension. And like we promised, we have our Spotify Wrapped as well that we'll get into at the end of the show. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at OTB Lax Pod across the board. We're on every social platform. Be sure to follow us. We're super close to 1K on Instagram, super close to 2K on Twitter. So let's hit those milestones. Let's get there at OTB Lax Pod across the board. Follow Hoots at Hoots Sports Media. Follow DJ at SCS_next great. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us those 5-star reviews. It helps the show continue to grow. Helps it get into the algorithm for more people looking for that sweet, sweet lacrosse content. And, of course, subscribe to both the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Outside the Box podcast YouTube channels. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia is where you get full video episodes of this show every week. Full video episodes of our original 6 shows on the network. Clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We're at 1,171 subscribers, which means we are 29 away from our next 100 subscriber milestone, and we're 57 subscribers away from doubling our entire new subscriber output from 2024. So if we get those milestones before the end of the year, we'll be rocking and rolling. Please subscribe, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new episodes are live. And if you subscribe to the OTB channel and we get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year, pretty much, because January we're going to have to start rocking and rolling, prepping and planning. Unkin' the Kids is happening, the OTB College Show with Deej, Hoots, and Jackie Knight. We're at 78 subscribers right now on that channel. So we need 22 more, and Unkin' the Kids comes to life. So be sure to subscribe.
Little Mikey Sowers more?
Little Mikey Sowers action.
Little Josh Byrne more?
Make that happen. YouTube.com/@OTB Lax Pod. Hoots, it's good to have you in the fold. Deej, how we living? Hoots, how we living? What's popping? It's OTB After Dark, boys.
Ah, man, I'm great, dude. Michigan basketball is basically on top of the world. Big ops week for me with that guy sitting over there. Packers going on the road, Mile High Country. So,
coming to get that L.
No, we coming to ride out with a W. You feel me? We gonna ride all right. So I'm feeling good, and I'm about to be putting my toes in some sand and taking in some warm vitamin C from the sun out in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. So
hold on. What?
Doxing himself, saying he's dipping.
Wait, also, isn't it vitamin D that comes from the sun?
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Man, you missed a prime opportunity to say you getting some vitamin D.
There you go. I'm gonna get me some vitamin D from the sun. It's a natural vitamin for me. That's, if y'all don't know, I'm only me when the sun is around. So, no, that's kind of...
Oh, we know. We've been talking to you for the last hour.
Hey.
said I'm pure vibes and smiles.
Hey, listen, bro. This man Hoots is taking op week serious. I've been catching strays.
Look. I got both. I got 2 op weeks in one, dog. I might as well get it out the way now.
Bro is on that. It don't matter because we gonna win. So I'm feeling good. As I mentioned, weekend's gonna be great for me.
Hoots has been a hot minute since you've been on the show with Pop.
Yeah, just busy as always. According to you, I was in the mountains with like some mountain goats or something like that.
Yeah, bro, I'm
from
glad to see
what I
you
heard.
didn't become one
He
with
made
the
it
mountain.
back.
I did make it back.
Hey,
I did make it back.
Strays like these did. Though.
That's facts. That's why I texted you when I was listening. I was like, "Yo, that's out of pocket."
Anytime I see Hoots react like that in the group chat, I'm like, "Oh, he's listening to Pop."
Bro, and I had to split the pod last week into 2 like listening sessions. So I was texting you about one thing, took the night off. Next morning I'm listening. I'm just peaceful drive to work. I hear him say that. I was like, "Hey, yo, what?"
Where the cheese?
Oh, but good to be back. I just got so much going on. It's ridiculous.
So we said this is why we need to run the 3-man game because this show is just gonna be 3 times as funny as it normally is. Even though we funny as a motherfucker when it's just me and Deej, but we throw Hoots into this thing.
It's gonna be
We're
3
like-
hours.
We're like LeBron, D-Wade, and Bosh.
Well, I'm LeBron.
How you not gonna claim your favorite player?
Hey, man, contrary to what I said earlier, I'm carrying.
Fraud.
I'm carrying you. Well, actually, no. Hey, actually, you gotta be Bron because you kind of carry the company and shit. But
That's facts.
I'm the low key like star. You need me. I'm the funniest one, low key. Without me, it ain't really as funny. I'm the one really filling the seats. I'm the one that the people actually love. Even though you were here before me, they love me like crazy. And then Hoots is like Chris Bosh because Chris Bosh was getting hurt this year. So you don't always.
All right. We're not doing all that. We're not doing all that.
I'm just saying you be here, but not all the time. Chris
Hey.
Bosh is there, but not all the time.
But I'm a contributor though. I contribute.
Coming to him
He
for saying.
contributed when he.
I be knocking down corner threes, but I need to knock down corner threes.
Hey, he knocked them down when we needed them. All I'm saying is.
I
Yeah.
thought you were coming at him for cramping up before the pod started.
Hey.
No, that's called Pierce. I'm cramping.
Look,
I'm cramping.
I wasn't properly hydrating today. All right. Don't worry, I got the Gatorade now. I'm good.
Chris Bosh gonna be a Hall of Famer, bro. That's nothing to sneeze
So good.
Hey, maybe we'll see.
at. He is. He goated.
That's hysterical. Last week, National Lacrosse League action, very minimal. One very entertaining game, one not so much unless you really love elite goalie wars. Our NLL wrap-up here brought to you by our friends over at Buff. Guys, we talked about it last week. That Survivor collection is just elite. It is sitting in my cart just staring at me like the Green Goblin mask. You get 6 iconic seasons of Survivor buffs all in this like perfect like fan kit. It is truly the best gift for your favorite Survivor fan this holiday season. Check out all of the buff headwear and obviously their face guards to make sure you're protected from this ridiculous winter cold that I feel like is just hitting everywhere this time of year. But don't worry, we're slowly but surely getting closer to more sunlight. The winter solstice is coming, and then that sunlight's going to be out more. But then you're going to need it when you're outside, when you're like Hoots going up to the mountains, all that good stuff. Use our link in the description to shop with Buff and support the show. That way they know you're coming from us. And we thank Buff for being a proud partner of OTB. Last week, some history was made in more ways than one. The Halifax Thunderbirds defeat the Oshawa Firewolves 11-2. Warren Hill ties the NLL record for fewest goals allowed by a goalie in a game in NLL history. And our boy, Alex Simmons, becomes the first player in OTB history to not record a point after appearing on the show. We're not blaming Alex. Warren Hill was just playing out of his mind, but all good streaks come to an end. That just means the next guy that comes on the pod is going to set some sort of record. We don't make the rules, but Halifax looked pretty fucking good down a couple of guys too. But Deej, we talked about it. No Joe Nardell at the stripe for Oshawa. You have a guy like Jake Withers out there. You're gonna have a lot of boosted opportunities in your transition game, and the fact that the defense for Halifax and Warren Hill obviously prevented the Firewolves from scoring for 3 straight quarters after Oshawa had a 2-1 lead in this game is one of the craziest things that we have seen in our time covering the National Lacrosse League.
Yeah, we've seen goalies take over games over the last few years, but this was like one of those I'm him moments. Like Warren Hill literally just dominated this game and took it over. Like he was like, and like the thing was, Oshawa was getting off good shots. Like they were getting to their spots, they were taking good shots, they were shooting from good angles, getting on the inside. He just stopped everything that came his way. He was like, look, y'all got a couple of early ones before I could get settled in, but now that I remember that I'm playing lacrosse and I'm between pipes, it's gonna take a little bit more than that if you want to get it by me. And I mean, when you got a brick wall behind you, it's a lot easier to play in front of that. The defense kind of started to pick it up later on in the game and fed off of his energy. And when you're getting locked down on the defensive end and they're getting frustrated, it's easier to kind of pick at the defense on the other end offensively as they get tired and they're playing more defense. So I think it was just an all-around good game from Halifax, starting with really Warren Hill. Once he got rolling, it went from the back forward, and the defense picked it up. Transition game helped out the offense, and then once the offense came alive, they could score with the best of anybody. So it was only a matter of time before it got out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, this was a 5-2 game at halftime, a scoreless third quarter, and then just an absolute onslaught. And Halifax gets I think 3 empty net goals, maybe 2. I think it was 3 because Doug Jameson was only credited with 8 goals against. So, and he still made 35 saves in this game. Like he didn't play poorly. I think when your goalie only gives up 8 in the National Lacrosse League, you should be expected to win. Just a very weird game, and Halifax just had the game plan to shut down Oshawa's offense. Ty Kurt's the only player to score a goal for Oshawa in this one. Dyson Williams led the team in assists with 2. Ethan Walker had an assist as well. But yeah, I mean, this I think is a learning moment for Oshawa, and we're gonna see the type of team that they are. We talked about it with Alex last week. Year one of them, of him, Ty Kurtz, and those boys, like, kind of superseded expectations. Last year fell way short of expectations. Now they got to try to find that middle ground with such a young team, and I think this can be either a big wake-up moment for them early in the season and a learning moment, or it could get ugly, and it depends on how they respond to it this week against Georgia. But tough way to come off such an emotional high win against Toronto and, kind of forging that rivalry and everything, to then kind of really fall flat, against Halifax. But again, I would like to see these teams play again with Joe Nardella healthy. That's the big thing for me.
Well, and I mean, they, like Deej was saying, Oshawa still got good shots. And I mean, they outshot Halifax as well in terms of shots on goal. So, imagine you add Nards back to that, and now you have extra possessions as well. And also, Alex Simmons had 16 shots on goal. He's never again going over 16. Ever. And it wasn't just him. Dyson had 9. Ethan Walker had 8. Funny enough, Ty Kurtz only took 4 shots on goal and had 2 goals. So, I think against a team like Georgia next week, that's going to be, kind of a playground scenario where they're going to have to really figure out those kinks, because if you got one guy taking 16 shots and the other guy that's actually scoring is only taking 4, it's going to be an issue kind of no matter what. But again, I think if you had Nards, this is a very different ball game overall.
And you put Halifax in the exact spot you want to put them. You had 7 power play opportunities in this one, and you went 1 for 7 on the power play.
Yeah.
If you capitalize on closer to 50%, either you get 3 or 4 power play goals there, that could change the whole trajectory of the game just based on, the momentum shifts and what you're able to do and who's, finding their shots. So if these two teams are able to, I forget if they play each other again later in the season, but if these two teams meet again and Nards is healthy and, they're on, a much better shooting night, I'd be intrigued to see how the outcome of this game goes.
Yeah, I think sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But I think they miss Nards a lot.
Yeah.
Which is
he's gonna be out for a
kind
month.
of, unnoted, unsaid most of the time. But the offense part is tricky, right? I think a lot and compare a lot to basketball. It's like, okay, this one guy has 12 points in the first quarter that doesn't normally score a lot. Kobe hasn't scored yet. Are you gonna tell Kobe to keep shooting the ball, or are you gonna be like, hey, Kobe, pass to the other guy? You kind of run, like, you have your offense set to run through certain guys who are gonna get more shot opportunities regardless of if they're kind of hitting or not. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think they should have capped it eventually? Yeah. Okay, once homie's 0 for 8, 0 for 10, 0 for 12, you might want to start to shift somewhere else and start to look to get shots somewhere else. But I understand why they kind of didn't, because you have your game plan, you have your philosophy, you have your flow of how your offense works, and plays are set up for certain guys. So if the look is there, you take it. So I get why they didn't necessarily go away from it, but at the same time, you got to have a plan B, C, D, and E when you're playing in the NLL.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately for them, they did have those plans. It's just that all of them went over. Like, I trust Alex Simmons hitting.
It was a failure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I trust. Alex Simmons is like, what, top 12 guys I'd want taking shots for me in a game easily, and that might even be like too lenient. Like, he's got one of the best shots in the league, and he's in his third year. And we're not just saying that because he's a friend of the program. Like, that dude, we've been championing his, skills and talents since he was a rookie. And like you said, it's like you don't see a guy like that go 0 for 16 ever. So the fact that happened is like just a credit to the defense from Halifax, a credit to Warren Hill for setting literal NLL history. And I mean, I think this will light a fire under the Firewolves, no pun intended, because I think when you're a young team, you carry a game like that in a much different way than a veteran-laden team would, I think, and they're going to use that as, a get-right spot now. And from the Georgia Swarm, I might be a little nervous playing them this weekend.
I'd say, yeah, because, like, with Oshawa this week, it's like they're going to hold on to that for a while. Like, in the back of their minds, like, and they'll probably verbally say it a few times, like, we don't want to be beat the way Halifax beat us this year again. Mm-hmm. Like, that's going to be something that is, like, said or thought about in the locker room multiple times. Versus, like, if that happened to Buffalo would be like, hey, it wasn't our night. It happens every once in a while. Then they come out the next game and score, like, 18 and be like, yep. It's the ebbs and flows of the NLL, and move on. Like, it's just so crazy the way, like, your mindset evolves after being through sports for so long. Like, yeah, eventually it becomes just another day in the office, but it all started at one point as, like, the worst feeling in the world.
100%. Any final thoughts on this game before we shift to Battle of the Prairies, which I think, Deej, you feel, even in a loss, pretty good about where things were in Game 1 with such a plethora of unknowns? Like, there was a lot of positives to take away, I think, from this game for Calgary.
So I first want to start off by saying we don't believe in moral victories. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. But as you mentioned, there were bright spots in this game. Tyler Pacer looked like he had been waiting his entire career to take over a team. Like, he looks like, I've kind of been behind all these guys, and, like, the whole time I really just wanted to run my own team. I just wanted to be the number one guy on offense. And he looks fantastic in the role. He looked great facilitating the offense and getting his shots off. Hayden Dixon stepped in and helped here and there. I thought the back end was okay. Like, you're gonna have some issues with the young goaltenders. You're going to have, issues with the defense as Eli Salama's kind of your veteran and older guy. Like, they're all settling into the league, but with that being their first full game time play at game speed in an NLL game that counts against a record, they held their own. And that's kind of what you're looking for in a young team. It's like, okay, where is your benchmark? Where do you start so you can start to move forward? Playing a Saskatchewan team that just went to the NLL final the year before, you only lose by 3 in a game that was tied, or you were down by 1 with a few minutes left, and then it kind of got away from you. You had it right there in your hands. So I think this team is far better than I thought they would be. I think this team is far better than a lot of people thought they would be. And once they figure it out, it may not even be this year. They may not figure it out to the end of the season, which would be too late. But once they figure it out, this will be a scary team to play.
I just want to say, Hayden Dixon did more than just a couple things. That man tied with Pacer in point production with 7.
Yep.
Both of them had a hat trick and 4 assists. Braden Maia is a dog.
I love Braden Maia.
He's awesome, and when you have a guy like Jared Newman talking about Braden Maia last year when he was with Chaos in the PLL, saying like the league ain't ready for it, he just never got his opportunity with them, unfortunately. But I was like, if Jared Newman is talking about a player like that from a defensive player's mindset about an offensive player, I'm going to be excited about that dude. He's going to be awesome with Tyler Pace and Hayden Dixon and obviously Tanner Cook. Like, those 4 are going to lead the way, and you're going to get contributions from other guys. That Kyle Pepper goal was fucking filthy.
It was just amazing. Oh, my God.
Like, for that to be your first goal in the National Lacrosse League like that as a rookie, like, take a bow, because that was incredible.
Yeah,
I can't stop watching the highlight video of it.
Giving up 3 power plays sucks. That goal was amazing. Like, it literally had my jaw on the ground. Giving up 3 power play goals sucks. And we had 4 in a row and tied it with 6:52 left off a cookie goal. And then gave up 1 shortly after with 5:34 to Zach Manns. Then Zach Manns scored on the power play with 15 seconds left. And then the empty netter from Messenger with 7 seconds left. So realistically, this is a 14-13 loss, maybe 15-13 because of the power play, if you want to call that. Like, I'll take a 2-goal loss first game of the season with the production that you got. This team doesn't like the loss. I don't like the loss, but it's a great starting point and has a ton of potential for catapulting from beyond this,
And realistically, if they just clean up a couple of things, like they doubled Saskatchewan's penalty minutes. They had 3 power play goals. They win by 3. Like, who's to say that they're not on the other side of this? If they just clean up those minute things that, like, oh, you're a young guy doing something you're not supposed to, like, whatever the case is, like, and especially with like J.I., I know he didn't face Jake Naso, but like, you gotta feel good going 26-33 in general. Like, again, not celebrating the moral victories, but like, I was actually kind of having fun watching the team. Because I was like, this is like, I admittedly am not high on them, like winning games wise, but I was like, they got a lot of dudes that I'm like, they're gonna be a fun team, and especially once they put it all together, like they have a good mix of, like you're saying, like older guys, but they're still young. Like, you look at like, they don't have any dudes that are like about to hang them up. Like,
yeah, exactly. So they have time to build together, and if they get close in the locker room, there's no reason for a ton of these guys to leave in free agency, like we've seen recently. This could be a group that sticks together for a bit. Which is, another exciting part in all of this. I'm really excited for, where this team is going to go. It's going to take a little minute, but it's going to be an exciting.
Plus those jerseys, mwah, beautiful.
So happy the red is back.
Beautiful.
So happy the red's back.
And I mean, from a Saskatchewan standpoint, like, we talked about it last week. Like, they're a team that went to the NLL finals last year. We're a half of lacrosse away from being NLL champions again. Like, they're really fucking good. Zach Manns is on Deej's MVP watch. Like, had 5 points in this game. Mike Messenger had 5 points in this game. Ryan Keenan had 6 points in this game. Robert Church had 4 goals. Austin Shanks, obviously, was the focal point, had 7 points in this game along with a hat trick. You got contributions from Brock Haley in the assist department. He had 3 assists. Jake Boudreau had 2 points. They moved the ball so well and got everyone involved where, like, Josh Zawada only had 2 assists. Levi Anderson only had 2 points. Like, they got everyone integrated into the offense and in the transition game, too, because you had Holden Garland, Levi Virch, both had assists in this game. Like, everyone was touching the ball, and I think that was the impressive part about Saskatchewan, where not that people are counting them out this year, but it feels like when they made the Triolo trade, everyone was like, what is this team doing? Like, they were questioning, but it's like they have Levi Virch ready to go, and, like, not that he's as big as Triolo, but he can do a lot of the things that Triolo does, and at a younger age, and he's, fresh off of a phenomenal rookie campaign in the PLL. He was great in college. He's going to be awesome for that team. And just imagine, like, they put up 16 in this game, and they did it without Jake Naso. Like, when he comes back after the season he had last year, Saskatchewan's going to be a force all season long with all the talent that they have.
Well, and, like, real quick, you talk about getting everyone involved. When 13 of your 19 floor runners have a point, you're going to win a lot of games. Like, you talk about getting contributions from everybody. That's like a legit, like, not just, oh, these guys are hustling for loose balls and that type of thing. Like, they're putting up points as well. Like, that's so huge.
Yeah, that factors in huge when you're getting points all over the field. It makes it easier to win games. And it allows for the offense to play loose and relax because they know that, they're going to get a little help on the backside. But in that same token, speaking about, Jake Naso, I think that they're only going to get better when he gets back. I think that this offense is going to explode when they get, a few more opportunities of what they've already gotten. And I said, when we were talking about League Pass teams and such, the only reason Saskatchewan isn't mine is because of the Battle of the Prairies. Like, that just can't happen. But if that wasn't a thing, they 1,000% would be, because they're a very good team that is definitely poised to make another run. Calgary, on the other hand, when they put it together offensively, they're going to be great because Justin Nacio is already playing at such a high level. So now you're taking his high level, giving the offense tons of possessions, and they're executing off more of those possessions than not. Those goals 13's a great place to start. And to think that they're not where they can be at 13 tells me that this team could average 17, 18 goals a game.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot of fun this year. And I said that last week. There's so many people that, unlike Hoots, where, like, he's just, speculating because you got to see them play. And I think one sample size already gives you a good taste of what Calgary can be. But there's a lot of people who came into the season that are talking about teams like Calgary, like Philly, and some of those teams that are, like, towards the bottom. And it's like, so many people forget that, like, there are legitimate lacrosse players on all of these teams, and these teams are going to perform and play well, even when, not every team is Buffalo. You're going to have games like this from Calgary, and they're going to be a lot of fun to watch, and that's what you want to see from the product, where, sure, it didn't translate to a win, but I think a game like this motivates a young team and a team that has a lot of, seasoned younger veterans to be like, hey, we're capable of competing against the best of the best, and then you're going to get your best shot from those teams every single week. It's a good stepping stone and a good building block for this Calgary team, and Saskatchewan just looks like another perennial championship-type contender, and these two teams are going to be a lot of fun to watch for a multitude of reasons, and if they're on if they're on the schedule, I cannot recommend enough watching both of them.
Hey, what they be saying, this is why they got to play the game.
Exactly. You got to play. You don't win the game in a spreadsheet.
It's got to happen. It's got to play out.
Got to happen. Any final thoughts on the miniature week 2 in the National Lacrosse League, boys?
Go next, baby.
I just want to see more than 2 games.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a good sample. Like, it's a good first game, like, first impression game for sure. And now it's just, like, build upon it, and that's what I want to see.
Y'all just hating because y'all team was the only game playing. It was nice.
When have I ever been hating on the Roughnecks this year?
It was nice to just be the only game that all lacrosse fans are watching.
I'm not saying it's not nice to have one at a time, but like
to the Roughnecks, it was amazing. It was amazing. I know it's not gonna happen a lot. I just want to talk about it a little bit. That's all. I know you're not hating. Would I love more than 2 games? Absolutely. Did I love that we were the only game on Saturday night? Absolutely. I think 2 things.
it was helpful though. I will say that we got to actually like hone in on each one.
Yeah.
Like this, like even to look at this next week 3. I don't know how we're gonna watch all the games unless you have some type of like multi-screen system going on
ESPN
because it's all at the same times.
ESPN on Xbox
Yeah.
has multicast.
Yeah.
So, but I won't be in the country with an Xbox to watch.
Oh, your steak is too buttery. Oh my goodness. Get this guy.
See why we got to run the 3-man game.
It's ridiculous.
Bro, not the steak too buttery. It's Mr. Too Slippery.
Man, he got the whole country crock in his carry-on. Yo, that's what I want people to do this week. Leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/OTBLaxPod. What's the most obscure thing that you found in the country crock butter container at your grandma's house? I want to know. I want to know what it is. Leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/OTBLaxPod. What's the most obscure thing that was in that country crock butter container?
The funniest thing is there's going to be about 5 people who say, it was actually butter.
And I'm be like,
Nah.
why the fuck you lying?
I'm going to have to take a picture with mine. There's real deal butter in there.
That's hysterical.
What would they be saying? But this ain't butter, or
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
But it is though. Man, them 2 free ads on your wrist is doing work tonight.
You funny, bro. You real funny for that one. 'Cause they don't even know.
You got them wrist infusions.
They going to work overtime.
Talk about the
Just
flick
like
of the wrist.
Just like them FBI agents.
Man, talk about the flick of the wrist. What you mean?
Wicked.
Oh, shit. Standings in the National Lacrosse League going into week 3. Halifax, Buffalo, San Diego, Saskatchewan, Colorado all 1-0. Oshawa 1-1. Vegas and Philly and Rochester have not played yet. Calgary, Ottawa, Vancouver, Georgia, and Toronto are all 0-1 in the National Lacrosse League. I mean, you want to talk about goal differentials, though? What a fucking steal for Halifax to start their season with a +9, and your goals against is just 2.
Yep.
That's insane.
That might come back to be huge for them later on in the season.
Yeah. We will preface this before we preview the week. We are recording this on Wednesday night, so injury reports are not out. So if anything happens with injury reports, we apologize in advance. And if that has any detriment to our picks this week, kindly go fuck yourself. No,
Sorry, it's my fault. You can blame me.
Nah, I don't care. Gives me more time to edit.
I was talking to the people. I was letting them know that they can blame me.
But we've got a full suite of games this week, and I use that term for a reason because, boys, I have some news that I can finally share with the people. Saturday, 1 o'clock at Xfinity Mobile Arena, or as I am now choosing to call it, the Cable Box.
That's fire. That's so fire, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can we get merch made with that?
Heater.
Cable Box, baby.
Trademark.
I'm going to be in a suite for the home opener for the Wings and Mammoth game. Shout out to the Philadelphia Wings for hooking it up We're going to have a full-blown just time, and allegedly,
Yo!
I'm running out of the tunnel with the players for pregame introductions.
Little Caesars Arena is now the pizza box.
I like the fact that he was talking the whole time, and that's what you were thinking about. Just
Yeah, bro.
calling it the pizza box.
Look at a flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it, bro.
Oh.
Oh, that's so gas. Cable box is fire.
The cable.
You got
box.
such the hookup, though.
Got a suite. Gonna be running out of the tunnel with the boys.
Hey, I had a source tell me that if your boys are down at halftime, they're going to ask you to suit up. They're going to send you down there.
Put me in, coach. I got a jersey ready to rock and roll. Well, speaking of...
Does anybody
Deej,
wear that number?
it's a good question.
Because hypothetically, they could put it on the roster.
Well, I don't really eat nachos.
Call them down at halftime, be like, hey, just sign your name right here.
We'll get you paid one
Fuck!
game day check.
Yo.
Somebody does.
No.
They gonna get the boy a game day check.
They said Mikey Sowers can't go. We need KB. We need you.
You got 2 inches on the boy. We need that height.
So unfortunately, Blaze got sick. So we need you to replace him.
Well, apparently, something happened to the boy. Because Blaze is not on the roster to start the season. He's on the PUP list. And because of that, he is not the captain of the Philadelphia Wings this year. That is going to Chris Corbeil. And when I saw that post, I was like, hey, yo, what the fuck? I was blown because Blaze has been the captain of the team since Kyle Matisse left in the Trevor Baptiste trade, which was 2022?
Yes.
Or 2023?
I think it was 23. Because Trevor's been there 2 years now, right?
I think that might have been 22.
Trevor Baptiste trade. August 4th, 2023. So
he's
Blaze
played
has
2
been
years now.
since Kyle got traded to New York and then ended up in Buffalo afterwards. But Chris Corbeil, now the captain of the team, which I think is, from that standpoint, pretty impressive for Chris, coming in at the trade deadline last year and coming in and kind of garnering the locker room like that. I'm very happy for Ryan Wagner being an assistant captain. He's been with the team since year one, after getting traded in the Chris Kluche trade, and he's just kind of been like a staple of the defense and like the one like steady presence on the defense. So very excited for him. He's earned it full blown. But the biggest news, not just that I'll be living that sweet life,
Like
Deej.
Zach and Cody?
like Zach and Cody, quite literally. Deej, you're going to be excited about this because if you all listen to the show, I know there's a lot of new people listening to the show too. Last year, and this is like, I'm not blaming the organization, I'm not blaming anybody. It was just a weird year in terms of covering the team because we had 0 in-person media whatsoever for the entire season. It was very strange. I'm happy to announce that the season will begin with in-person press conferences. We're so fucking back.
That is gas. There you go.
Like,
because let me tell you,
it was brutal.
getting
Like
getting texts from this man every weekend about the lack.
you'd be like,
A
how'd the
press
game go?
conference.
And I'm like, I don't fucking know.
He'd
Like,
be like,
because-
I mean, the press box was cool.
It was weird because like they would come up and ask who we wanted to hear from, and like the way they wanted to do it, we had to submit questions through an email, like whole thing. But half the time, the players that we had requested were not the ones that ended up in the press conference, and then since there's no like context behind the questions that are getting asked, there's no follow-ups, there's no like additional context. Like the longest press conference I think we got, because we got the video file sent back to us, was like 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the first game of the year from Blaze. Everything else was like 90 seconds, and I'm like, are these TikTok interviews? Like, it was brutal, just from like me trying to do a job standpoint, and when I have people in my DMs asking me like what's going on with the team, and I can't even give them like an inkling of what's going on. It was really strange. I'm glad to start the season. We'll be in person. Being able to interact with the team is a privilege, and I'm always super grateful for it. And the Philadelphia Wings treat us so well, and I have no clue what happened last year. I'm just glad that we are past it, and I'm going to be able to talk to players this year, get a lot more context behind what happened during games, and getting actual like player perspective to bring to the show, bring clips to social media from all the press conference stuff. So in-person press conferences to at least start the year back, and I'm thrilled. But yeah, Saturday's going to be insane, but week 3 is absolutely loaded. First full suite of games, all 14 teams in action. One standalone game on Friday, Saskatchewan at Ottawa. You want to talk about high-powered offenses? That's a game to watch. And then Saturday gets started 1 o'clock, Colorado at Philly in the Wings' first game of the season. And then 7 o'clock, we've got Calgary at Toronto, Halifax at Buffalo, and then 7:30, it's Oshawa at Georgia. And then the nightcap, Las Vegas at Vancouver. And then on Sunday at 5 Eastern, Rochester at San Diego.
Well, obviously, my Roughnecks are a big circle for me. They'll be taking on Toronto. So when I do get free time to scoreboard watch and check Twitter and such, that will be the main piece of my focus for the weekend and for Saturday. Halifax-Buffalo should be interesting this weekend after what we saw from Halifax this weekend. Will Warren Hill be able to replicate that, performance in any kind of light? Will that offense be able to score, more than 11 goals and go toe-to-toe with Buffalo? Op week for the two of you will be fun for me, because then I'm sure you guys will be going back and forth in the OTB chat, and I'll be able to pop in from now and then and talk.
Dog, I was
shit.
trying to fly Hoots out here. We were trying to make it work.
I really wish you guys could have been.
I almost did it.
I know, the two of you in the suite going back.
He just shows up in a Philadelphia Wings suite with a Mammoth jersey on.
I would have got like a drink dumped on me, dude. I got some stories about what happened to me when I went to San Diego. I don't want any part of the Philly people if they're worse than them.
Damn.
Nowhere near worse.
San Diego
Philly
people
fans
did
are
you
fun.
dirty.
I mean, like, not like awfully, but like there was a couple that I was just like, yo, what is your problem?
They would probably just hit you with what they do for the penalties and be like, get in the box, bitch.
Hey, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, my boys,
They would have thrown you in the box instead of outside the box.
the Rochester.
Hey, I'll bring my camera.
Hey.
Pull a Brett Dobson.
Picky picks. But, Rochester playing against San Diego should be fun this weekend as well. Speaking of those San Diego fans, I'm sure they'll be rowdy as, last season's MVP and that crew comes into town. Saskatchewan, Ottawa should be good as well. So, pretty star-studded week. I guess looking to see if Oshawa bounces back against Georgia. The one game that is kind of questionable is Las Vegas and Vancouver.
That's what I'm choosing to call the high expectations bowl.
They do both have very high expectations. Vancouver was kind of brought to reality a little bit in week 1 in their game.
No biggie.
Vegas will
Light work.
We'll see what Vegas will be able to do, in their first game. So I think this week is poised to be one of the better weeks of the season. We could see a lot of very close games.
Actually, speaking of high expectations, I think that Buffalo Halifax game fits that mold as well. Just some of the reactions to Halifax after. I know they had a crazy game. I'm not denying any of that, but some of the reactions, I'm like, yo, it was one game. against a team that had a 1-goal win in their first. Like, let's relax. Like,
They always
so
do well at home.
yeah, this is going to be a big test for Halifax, in my opinion. And like, if they do that again or something similar,
Now we can talk.
I will gladly come back next week and say, hey, I was wrong. But
I'm gonna get them the Michigan treatment if they do that. They're good, but I ain't gonna say they're gonna win a national championship yet. They're not gonna win the NLL Cup yet. I got to see them do more. They have to do this later in the season.
Yep.
Because the season's so long for me to say, okay, yeah, we really need to be talking about championship aspirations, and that's what any team. I think the only team that we could possibly say that for this early is Buffalo, because they're coming off of three championships in a row, and they won their first game of the year. Other than that, everybody else is until I'm seeing super high level play in March, I'm not going to call it.
Yeah, and I think in a similar vein, just without like all the massive free agent moves, that Sunday game is a huge game for two teams that those fan bases have wild expectations in Rochester and San Diego for their teams year in and year out. And I think this year more than ever, after seeing what Rochester did last year, and then you add what you did in the offseason, you have new ownership, you want to kind of set that new precedent for your fan base. I think this is a huge game for Rochester. Go on the road at San Diego that has built up a quality fan base, and they have a very, very good team. They won that shootout against Ottawa. I think that game's going to be a massive early season tilt between two teams that have expectations of deep playoff runs, and I think if you asked anybody on those teams, like, they are fully in a go and win a championship mode.
Hey, that's my league pass team for a reason, baby. Unless they're playing Colorado.
League pass and my league pass for San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll throw out too. I don't know if y'all saw Lyle Thompson cut his hair again.
Do you really?
I mean, at least the photo he posted today sure made it seem like he cut it even shorter. So
is that on Instagram?
Yeah, on his Instagram story. So I'm hoping that the braid didn't give him all his powers. After 1 point last week, cutting it shorter, I hope he's back.
Let's see. I don't see this.
I did not see that. So.
Like, it feels weird not seeing him with like long hair. It's crazy.
Whoa. I gotta take a screenshot of this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He looks like a different human.
Yeah.
And, like, it doesn't look bad, but it's, like, jarring.
Where is it?
On his Instagram story. That's insane.
I'm scared, bro.
Like, he looks great, but it's just, like, you're not used to Lyle Thompson with short hair like that. Wow. I wonder why he cut it.
Ah!
So dramatic.
Ah! You see the video, bro?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Nah. He got to bring the braided tail back. It's not the same.
Crazy.
This is nuts.
Well, it's not coming back for
a while.
Clearly.
That's nuts. End of an era.
Yeah.
Damn. I wonder why.
I'm in utter shock right now.
That's crazy. Calgary Toronto is going to be fascinating. Just because of the young talent on both teams. And I feel like Calgary gets to go into that game with, like, there's no pressure. And I feel like that's their whole season. Like, this season is there's no expectation. So, like, we can just go out and play free. We can play loose. And Toronto, I feel like, even though they have, the CJ Kerr, Sam English, Owen Hiltz, cavalry coming in, there's a lot of expectation for that team nonetheless. You're at home. I think every team that goes into Toronto and plays Toronto throughout the season, they're going to be playing them as, like, Toronto's going to have a target on their back just because of what Dowick did over the offseason, and, like, a lot of people don't like him now. I think that's going to be a very underrated, fun game to watch on Saturday night. You know, obviously a lot of people are going to watch Buffalo just because of the optics and the packed arena and everything, but that Calgary-Toronto game is worth a screen and watching, because the young talent in that game is going to go toe-to-toe with each other, and I'm excited to watch the way it all shakes out. And from a transition game and an advantage standpoint, TD is out right now. J.I. is playing. We saw what he did against a team last week that didn't have their face-off guy. That's a huge boost for Calgary.
Yeah, we're going to need that. We're going to need every possession in this game because I believe Toronto has a very high-powered offense, even though it didn't quite show in that first game against Oshawa. They have guys that can put the ball in the back of the net. And they're still figuring each other out. It's a lot, like you said, a lot of young guys with a lot of older guys. The older guys kind of have a style of play they've been playing for a while. The younger guys are stepping in, fresh legs, fresh ideas, fresh new, moves to try. And all of those things kind of clash a little bit. So as they fuse that together, they're only going to get better. And this is another opportunity for them to do that. So every offensive possession that Calgary gets this week, they have to try and capitalize. And the more they capitalize off of, the better. And the power play has to be better, in my opinion, as well. It wasn't bad last week, but there were some times where they looked not necessarily lost, but not necessarily like a power play unit. The ball wasn't zipping around. Guys weren't moving kind of in that cohesive way that you want a power play unit to move. So a few little, things to fix. But once again, the best time to do it is during a game. So another opportunity for both sides to sharpen their tools.
And Toronto just looked like a team that wanted to muck it up in week one. Like, they only scored 7 goals. Obviously, they don't have TD, but, they still have very elite guys in their transition game, and they still have guys like Mark Matthews, and you have Owen Hiltz and CJ Kirst and everything. You're going to score. It's eventually going to come to you, and, no slight to Aiden Walsh, but, Doug Jamieson, I feel like we would all say is a better goalie in terms of just overall body of work and what he's been able to do in his career. But I think that game is going to be a lot of fun to watch, and there's going to be a lot of takeaways from that when the final buzzer goes. I feel the same way about the Wings in Colorado. The Wings are playing with zero expectation. Nobody knows what to expect. Everyone's already writing them off. And this isn't just me being the optimistic, Homer Philly fan. You look at that Wings roster, and I think Hoots, even though they're playing the Mammoth, you would say the Wings still have a shit ton of talent on their roster.
Yeah, they're just unpredictable. That's why I said on Tusk Talk, little plug, self plug there, this week, that it's a little it is a little scary from a Mammoth standpoint. I'm just not only have they not played a game, so you don't have film on them, that's already scary enough. But then you still got Brendan, you still got Joey Rez, you got a lot of guys that I'm even though they might not be the Buffaloes of the league, they're going to come in and win a bunch of games, in my opinion, that are going to kind of surprise people. So it's you can't really take them lightly, and kind of similar to Calgary, actually, they don't really have expectations. Everyone's expecting them to be bad. So, they could legitimately just come out and just, punch them in the mouth. And
we got our guy, Dalton Young.
Yeah. And there's just so many guys like that I don't think people factor into winning overall.
Caputo is back. He was a great addition last year. And, Nick Gamute is one of the best young goalies in the league. And
theoretically, he should keep getting better.
Right.
We haven't seen a bunch from him.
On top of that, too, you added Eric Fennell in free agency. That's a big body offensive weapon. Sam LeClaire is back. Mammoth fans know him all too well. And, I mean, you look at the defense, I genuinely think this is the best defensive unit the Wings have had since they've come back into the league. Alex Pace is back, Ryan Wagner's back, but then you look at the rest of the defense, Chris Corbeil, captain, is going to play a bunch of defense for you. He's going to be in the transition game, too. Evan Messenger, same thing, ready to rock and roll. Mike McCannell is back as well. And then you have guys like Mitch Armstrong, who's finally healthy. I'm excited to see him play a full season. Liam Patton, Isaiah Davis-Allen, Kevin Lynch. They signed Pat Foley late in free agency, and he made the opening roster and everything. And from everything I've heard, Nick Rowlett had his best training camp of his career. So that's a huge part of this too, where last year the Wings had no answers at the stripe, and it was just a rotating circle, and it was like you didn't have an answer for trading away Trevor Baptiste when you did until halfway through the season after you did when you brought in Nick Rowlett. Then Nick Rowlett got hurt last year, and you didn't have an answer at the stripe all season long, and you just could not get possessions for an offense that had Joe Resetarits, Mitch Jones, Blaze Reardon, Phil Caputo, and a whole accompaniment of offensive weapons, along with Brendan O'Neill and then Michael Sowers, that you look at that offense on paper, that's a championship offense. And you couldn't score to save your life for the middle part of the season, and it cost you, a chance at even thinking about the playoffs. So I think now that you've kind of sifted through getting a lot of like-minded players and a lot of similar players sifted out, and you're going to give guys like Dalton Young a lot more opportunities to play, and I think he's going to be a force this year for this team. Joe Resetarits coming back is huge. Phil Caputo being back is massive. A full season of Michael Sowers is going to be big, and Brendan O'Neill is Brendan O'Neill. At the end of the day, that dude is going to get buckets, and that goes without saying. Colorado, I'm very high on them this year. I'm not saying they're going to go and win it all, but I think a lot of people also counted the Mammoth out going into the year. We forget Dylan Ward is still Dylan Ward. He's still playing at a high level. Warren Jeffrey, I think, is one of the most criminally underrated defensemen in all of lacrosse. And you added Andrew Q to this offense. That dude is a menace, and I was very impressed with what I saw from the Mammoth offense in week 1.
Yep. And to circle back to the Rowlett part of this, this is Matthew Pallato's first time going against a face-off guy at the professional level. So that's already an interesting battle, because he obviously dominated week 1 because there was no Stathakis from Vancouver. But then, like you mentioned, the fact that Andrew Q got turned into a passer against Vancouver is wild to me. The fact that he just casually threw out 5 assists like that, I'm in my opinion, this is the week he's going to try to be more of a scorer, which is where it's kind of intriguing to me. But again, I'm curious to see what Damoud can kind of do. I know he's been the starter, but I don't feel like he's anywhere near his peak. And, again, it's almost like a trap game to a degree for Colorado. So, I'm just excited to see how kind of both teams play that little chess match of just, both teams had a lot of turnover. And I think, like you said, both teams are probably better than people are giving them credit for. And this is kind of the downside of having one team that doesn't play till week 3 and one team that has one game in 3 weeks or 2 weeks at that point. It sucks, but I think this is going to be one of the better games overall on the weekend. So I hope people, will tune in at a 1 p.m. start time. It's kind of weird, but yeah, everyone should be glued to their TVs for this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, and I think the weird part about it too is these two teams always play each other well. No matter if it's in Colorado, if it's in Philly, these two teams are always back and forth with each other, and I'm intrigued to see just kind of the new looks that they each have, and like you said, Palo Alto versus Rowlett, what that looks like at the stripe, and Nick finally being healthy.
Yeah, feels like forever since he's been healthy.
It feels like he hasn't been healthy since he was at Michigan.
I mean, yeah, that is pretty much
honestly
true. He took that hit in the PLL during his first season from Connor Farrell, and he pretty much hasn't been healthy since then.
And it feels like he's as close to 100% as possible, if not at 100% for the first time since then. So I'm very excited for him. Nick's always treated us really well too, and obviously we love Jack. That's the fucking boy. Saskatchewan Ottawa is going to be a fascinating game just because those two teams can score, but as we have been harping on with Ottawa, they can't play fucking defense. those dudes need to figure out some sort of formula to play a smidge of defense in front of Zach Higgins, who is one of the best goaltenders in the league. They leave him out to dry every single fucking week and then rely on Jeff Teat to be Superman. Granted, Superman now has, his sidekick in Rob Hellier, but you need to play defense. And if they don't, they're going to be in the same situation they have been in since they were the New York Riptide, and that's missing the playoffs again.
I agree, but to me, it's just so hard to say because it is they've only played one game. It is so early in the season. There's time for so much adjustment. So you don't want to hit the alarm bells too early, but I am a proponent, a fan of the proponent of hitting alarm bells early for something that carries over. This is a problem they had last year, and it's a problem early in the season. Okay. Did you actually do anything over the offseason to address this problem? As of right now, it doesn't look like that. Maybe that changes over the next couple of weeks, but not quite hitting the panic bell yet, but the hairs on the back of the neck are up, the eyes are open, the focus and attention is on that. Like, have they actually fixed that problem? If they do, they could easily be one of the best teams in the league. If they don't, like you said, they could be looking at another missed playoff season.
Which, Jeff Teat's not getting any younger. And the fact that he has not made the playoffs in his entire NLL career is criminal. And it makes you wonder, not that you want to start speculating that at all, but, it makes you wonder, how much longer is he going to tolerate, just years and years of not being able to get over the hump.
Well, and not just not getting over the hump, but, not ever doing anything to try to get over the hump.
Especially coming off of a championship in the PLL. He now knows what that, taste of success is like. And he's the type of player that I think that is going to fuel him. After we saw him in that press conference room, Teach, we have never seen Jeff Teat smile that much in our lives. Ever. And the fact that he now knows what it's like to win and get to the top of the mountain like that, it makes you you have those intrusive thoughts. The Green Goblin mask starts talking to you, and it's how long does Jeff Teat put up with it before he's like, hey, I want to win. We either got to figure it out or you got to send me somewhere so I can go and win.
Especially when you factor in that, yes, adding Rob Hellier is huge. But how huge is it when you're still having to have either him or Jeff Teat go for 8 or 9 points to even have a shot, and you're still losing by 3, giving up 16 goals? It's just, that's why, as big as it is, Hellier's not getting any younger. He's going to hang it up much sooner than Jeff Teat is, and then all of a sudden it's back to square one. So at some point they're going to have to address the defensive woes, and like Deej said, it is one game, but it's not one game at the same time. It's years of this, and at some like people have been saying about Halifax. How many times can you keep saying that they're a championship contender, right, and then they show you that they're not? That's where I'm kind of at with Ottawa right now, and I recognize that it's probably too early to be at that fed up level with them, but that's just kind of where they are, unfortunately.
And it's not that they played relatively poorly in week 1 against San Diego. It was a barn burner of a game, and they were just going back and forth. But what Deej and I talked about last week, they didn't score in the first quarter, and you can't go an entire quarter in the National Lacrosse League scoreless and expect to win. It's damn near impossible. And like you said, Hoots, Hellier's not getting any younger. Jeff's gonna be 29 at the end of the year. At the end of the season, not the year, but at the end of the NLL season, he's gonna be 29, which is crazy to think about, but that's where you're at. You're approaching, Jeff T entering his 30s, and he has not sniffed the National Lacrosse League playoffs in his career.
That's kind of wild.
Time is an enigma. It's fake. It's crazy.
Yes, it's very fake, actually.
But I hope Ottawa plays well. I want to see them, do something. They have the talent to be good. It's just they don't play defense, and it's frustrating week in and week out when you sit down to watch them, and it's just it's the same song and dance. I feel like what I'm going through right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the same fucking song and dance with their offense. And Ottawa, it's the same song and dance with their defense. Like, it's just non-existent. And you have Hellier now. You have Teat going for massive points. Larson Sundown contributing. Connor Kiernan contributing. Riley O'Connor contributing. But you can only play from behind so much. And it's like, when are you ever going to play with a lead? And they got to figure some things out. It's a tall task against Saskatchewan, especially because they can play defense and they have a very good goalie as well. But I'm intrigued for that game. I think it's a big, like, early season litmus test for Ottawa and trying to, you know, right some of the wrongs that they had with the San Diego game. But nonetheless, any other thoughts, boys, on Week 3?
Go Roughnecks.
Them wrists are going crazy.
That's what we're. What else are you here for?
I'd love to hear about your radio job. Actually, that's what I'm there for.
Actually, sir. When I left that building, 30 minutes. When I left that building 5:30 today, it didn't exist anymore.
Wrist o'clock.
So listen here.
D's got two watches on him. He's
my radio job doesn't exist until
nice watch
until Tuesday, December 16th at 8 a.m. So before that check that 9 a.m. when I get in the building. So yeah, that's the last you'll hear about my radio job for at least a week.
No, I'm definitely texting you about it while you're on vacation.
It's on a playlist.
Yeah.
What you got queued up?
I'm gonna tune in and then text you and be like, "Who is putting this playlist together?" Like,
I would be like, I'm just not gonna respond.
He's gonna be like, I don't know.
Oh my!
I'll have. Oh man.
No, this is Patrick.
Is this the block? No, this is Patrick.
Man, somebody keeps calling here asking for the block, and I keep telling them, no, I'm Patrick.
Patrick, this is the block. Tartar sauce. And this is why people listen to OTB, and this is why we were a top show for so many people on Spotify this year. Oh, man. Our NLL week preview brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company, guys. There's no better way to stand out in the crowd this NLL season than repping your favorite lacrosse player's favorite lacrosse podcast. Go to phiapparel.co. Get your official OTB shirts and hoodies for the season. It's freezing cold out in all of the NLL markets. I don't want to hear from you right now, San Diego and Vegas, you absolute suckers living in sunshine and rainbows, you dirty rats. You still need hoodies. You still need shirts. phiapparel.co. Code Underground. You get 10% off your next merch order from our awesome merch partners and stand out in the crowd this NLL season with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia and the Outside the Box podcast. I think with that being said, boys, we round out week 3 and we head on over to the pick pond. And we feed some ducks and make our NLL Week 3 Picks of the Week brought to you by our awesome friends at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. Go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Delaware, and Maryland areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. We start with Friday night lacrosse in Ottawa. Saskatchewan Rush, Ottawa Black Bears. Deej, I'll start with you. Who do you got in this one?
This one I'm going to roll with the Rush. I think Ottawa will make it a little bit closer. I think that we're going to get some Jeff Teat-like games. Rob Hellier's going to continue to be himself, and that they're going to start to figure things out. But Saskatchewan started hot last week. They're rolling off the momentum they had last year, and they're still a very well put together team. So I don't really have a reason to pick against them this week. So give me the Rush.
Yeah, I'm going with Saskatchewan. Until I can see Ottawa put together any semblance of defense in front of Hickey, I got to go with the Rush. Like we said it, last week, and we said it going into the year. They are one of the more complete teams in the entire league. They essentially are running it back, and you subtracted Triolo and added Levi Virch. And I think if you're going to have a Triolo replacement, Levi Virch is a pretty damn good one. And even without Jake Naso, hopefully he's back this week for them, because you never want to see a guy out. I still think they have the talent across the board to rock and roll, so I'm going with the Rush.
I'm taking the team that plays defense.
Defense wins championship.
That's about it.
As they say. We go to Ops Week, 1 o'clock Eastern in Philadelphia at the Cable Box. You already know where I'm going, guys. I got to go with the Wings in this one. I'm living the sweet life. I'm running out of the tunnel. They can't lose. The KB runs out of the tunnel game. If they do, it's going to be a detriment to my career. I'm going with the Wings.
I mean, next question. What are we doing here? What?
You're not going to go with some reverse psychology this week?
We don't need reverse psychology against the Wings, dog. Come on, we don't need
y'all,
that.
he said y'all ain't nothing.
Man,
y'all easy money.
Let
light
it be known.
work.
Let it be known.
Easy money, light work.
If the Wings find a way and get the job done, I am fucking FaceTiming your ass.
I will.
Sweet.
I'm not going to answer. I'm going on D&D. I'm going to Florida. What that one owner say? I'm on D&D in Florida. We not worried about lacrosse? Out of there, dog.
I'm trying to play some golf. You gonna be getting that swing in.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that.
Hoots about to start hosting Getting a Hole for us.
Yeah. It's just going to be me on the course, just playing alone, just in my tears.
I'm screaming. I'm going to rock with Colorado, though.
Oh, that's
Damn right.
That's so funny.
I don't even know why.
D&D in Florida.
Yeah, that's
I don't.
it.
We gotta
That's
put that
hilarious.
on a quote card.
Put it on a shirt.
Oh, that's so funny.
Put it on
yeah,
the
we
shirt.
gotta put that on the shirt. That would do numbies. Speaking of D&D in Florida, Calgary, Toronto. I'm gonna get spicy here. I'm gonna go with Calgary.
I know y'all ain't looking at me.
You ain't gonna go with no
ain't-
reverse psychology here.
Ain't no way y'all looking at me right now.
You ain't gonna go with no reverse psychology there.
I didn't last week.
And what happened?
I picked Michigan to beat Ohio State. Hey, I picked Michigan to beat Ohio State. They lost. I picked Calgary to win last week. They lost. I picked the Packers to beat the Bears. They won. Picked the Packers to beat the Lions. They won. So I'm gonna pick Calgary to win again.
You
I don't
just
pick
like
against
this.
my teams. 8-9. Don't play with me. I'm gonna pick my teams to win every time. We win or we go down losing.
I like Calgary in this game.
I stand tall, all 10 toes behind mine.
J.I. at the stripe versus who knows who. I think that's an advantage. And then I think Calgary have enough talent offensively to match what Toronto's going to be able to output.
I had Toronto listed, but the more that we've talked, even off pod, I find myself believing a little bit in Calgary. And the way that Toronto looked against Oshawa, a team that I'm not necessarily very high on, makes me feel like this is a very winnable game for Calgary. I'm going to have to flip. I'm going to take Calgary. I think Toronto has the pieces, but
It's not there yet.
it's not there yet. And like you said, with having J.I. there, they put up 13 against Saskatchewan. I'll take Calgary.
I I like it. We go to the other 7 o'clock game. Halifax at Buffalo. One of the best Jersey matchups we get in the league. It's tough. I wish we had injury reports midweek, like we should in every other sport, because I want to see who is available for Halifax. Because missing Trevor Smith, even though they won 11-2, like you need a Trevor Smith in a game like this. So hopefully, if he's back, like that's a boost for them. But I think this game comes down to the transition game, and both teams are elite at the transition spot, and the home floor advantage is just so huge, so I gotta go Buffalo.
I think Halifax played a great game last week, but that was last week. I think Warren Hill was amazing last week, but once again, that was last week. I think that they have some energy carrying over. I think that they're in great spirits. I think that they're going to come out and play hard. I even think that they'll come out and punch Buffalo in the mouth first and kind of catch them a little bit off guard. But once things kind of settle in and Buffalo reacts from that first punch, they'll come back with a fury, and Buffalo will win a tight one.
I'm going to follow suit. I just got to see more from Halifax. Like, I'm not going to go all in off one game, no matter how good it was. So, and again, Banditland is no joke. So, I'll take Buffalo.
And I mean, Josh Byrne and Dane Smith are not going over 16 either.
Exactly.
And if they do, I'll eat my words, but I'll say it, they ain't going over 16.
No.
And that's no slight to Alex. It was just a fucking weird night. He normally will not go over 16.
Crazy.
And speaking of Alex Simmons, 7:30, Oshawa at Georgia. I said it earlier when we talked about Oshawa's game. I think they're going to use last week as a boost, and they're not going to have shooters go over the way that they did. I think they'll be better on the power play. It's kind of an even game at the stripe with kind of unknowns there for both teams, and I think Oshawa's going to be able to move the ball a little bit more effectively against Georgia. And sure, Brett Dobson is there, and he's the fucking man. But I think defensively, Georgia is less equipped than Halifax is. So I'm going to go with Oshawa to be in a big bounce-back spot.
I'm going to roll with Georgia, and I can't tell you why. I just have somewhat of a gut feeling saying roll with Georgia in this game. I may have been quite alarmed at my boy LT4 cutting the hair, but I don't think that changes his lacrosse abilities in the slightest. He still has Shane Jackson down there as his 1-2 punch, Michael Grace, etc. So I really like some of the pieces down in Georgia. I don't think that's why I'm saying they're going to win. Like I said, I think I just got a gut feeling that the Swarm is the way to go this weekend.
I'm going to go Oshawa. I think this is a week that Ty Kurtz gets a few more looks. I think Simmer actually scores a lot. And as good as Dauber is, Dougie Jameson is him. Like, he's one of them ones. So I think they'll bounce back, especially like you said, like, if you lose by 9 goals, that's not happening again. So give me the Firewolves.
Weird lines on this, too. If you look betting lines-wise, I'm just getting a gig because I feel like this game is so hard to predict. These two teams, Oshawa is a 1.5-point favorite, but they're plus 100 versus minus 130 for Georgia on the money line. Very weird.
Okay.
That makes no sense at all.
No.
Very strange.
That's got to be an error.
Very weird.
I don't even know. I don't even know how that works.
It shouldn't work like that.
It's basically saying that they're underdogs, but also overdogs.
I'm saying I know it's not supposed to work like that, so that's why I'm saying I don't know how that works. I'm not like oblivious to the betting game. I just don't do it. My God, y'all try to treat me like elementary child. Talk about, well, you know, he's their favorite of the year. No.
Well, actually.
You don't say.
What's up, brother? The expectations. That's when you'll be back at your radio job.
Bingo.
Expectations Bowl, 10 Eastern on Saturday. Vegas at Vancouver. Deej, how are the Vancouver Roughnecks going to be in this one?
I'm going to give them the edge, not because they're my league pass team and I don't go against my teams, but because they've already had a game under their belt. We don't know what Vegas is going to roll out with. Vegas doesn't know what they're going to roll out with. And like you said, they have all of these expectations. Sometimes that can cause added pressure onto a team that realistically, in my opinion, shouldn't have any pressure. But once you have expectations along with this kind of lack of knowledge, it all compounds, and that could spell to be trouble for Vegas. So I'm going to roll with the squad that's had some experience this season already and kind of knows what to address and what they need to come out and do versus a squad getting out for the first time.
I am going to rock with Vancouver because, number one, I don't know what to expect with this Vegas offense. Like, this is to put it in comparison's sake, like the guys they brought in, this is year one of LeBron Miami Heat. You don't know what to expect.
I mean, they made it to the championship. They just ain't win that, John. So I mean,
and they started off slow too, and they lost to process Sixers. So, crazier things have happened. But like on the other end, what the fuck is Vegas's defense? Again, another team that notoriously does not play defense. I don't trust their goaltending at all. Vancouver has far superior goaltending, far superior transition game, far superior face-off athlete, and they have a veteran team that has at least played games together not only this year but in the past too. I'm going with Vancouver. And they're at home.
Yeah, I mean, you can score as many goals as you want, but when you're giving them up on the other side, like, it's not, you can't win games like that. We'll see. I'm hearing good things about Landon Kels. Like, maybe this is his year, but I just got to see it to believe it first. And I don't think that Vancouver's going to struggle like they did against Colorado. And, like, that was week one. I think they'll be much better this week, so I'm going to take the Warriors as well.
Yeah, like, no offense to Landon Kels, but it feels like we've been hearing, it's Landon Kels' breakout year since he came into the league. And it just has never been there. And part of that is because he's never had a defense in front of him. And, like, I don't know what to expect from a team that is just, like, constructing itself like Frankenstein's monster through free agency. So, we'll see. But it's going to be a fascinating game nonetheless. And then on Sunday at 5 Eastern, Rochester at San Diego in my most anticipated game of the week in terms of just, like, matchup-wise, talent-wise. This is going to be very fun. Even though San Diego has played a game, I'm going to rock with the Rochester Nighthawks. I love what they've done this offseason. I think they are one of the most complete teams in the league. They have championship aspirations. They have the reigning MVP on their team.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to roll with San Diego. But I'm going more with that Pechanga Arena magic. That home arena, it does something special for them out there. They have a curated environment being out on the West Coast and being able to bring lacrosse there. And then, that piece of them playing back in week one, it does play a little factor, especially because they were off to a win. So they already have, that winning energy about them, that excitement. But on the opposite side, Rochester has that first game excitement, that getting back out on the floor excitement, that ready to actually hit another team at full speed excitement. So this game actually should be really exciting. Wouldn't be surprised to see Rochester pull it off, but I'm going to roll with San Diego.
League pass team, baby. To the moon. Especially with Zed back.
Yeah.
And fireworks.
Dude, their roster is just loaded with talent offensively. They're going to be so fun. And we get to watch Jake Pacino play lacrosse.
Yep.
Ryan Pacino, 1088.
Also, I want to say, I took the fall there for our league pass team. You know, when we all pick the same team, things go bad.
Hey,
So Calgary's gonna lose.
I picked against my own personal league pass team, so
I'm just saying. So Calgary gonna lose. Damn. Fuck y'all, man. Y'all had one job. Y'all knew I was gonna pick Calgary. So the two of y'all had one job.
you can't never say we hated on them.
Y'all did though. Y'all did
Nah,
one thing
nah,
you weren't supposed to
nah.
do was pick them. One of y'all had to say, you know what? Yeah, Toronto gonna win. It's okay though. We can leave it how it is. Maybe we'll.
I believe. I believe that.
All right, bro. Get your Brighton head ass on.
So there it is. We are all going Saskatchewan, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yep.
Deej and Hoots are going with Colorado. I'm going with Philly. We're all going Calgary. We're all going Buffalo. Hoots and I are going Oshawa. Deej is going Georgia. We're all going Vancouver. Deej is going San Diego. Hoots and I are going Rochester. And those are your week 3. All picks of the week brought to you by Kenwood Beer. Oh my god. That's hysterical.
We can set some folks up.
A couple of things in the PLL and the WLL. It is brought to you by our PLL App Code. Guys, the PLL app is the one-stop shop to keep up to date with all the latest news, notes, and information from around the league. It's a gamified app, so when you log in, there's things to do in the app every single day to earn points, and when you earn points, you unlock different levels, and that means you get discounts in the PLL shop, you get access to potential ESPN Plus subscriptions, and so much more. Download the PLL app in the App Store or Google Play Store, and when you go to the redeem code section, type in OTBPOD, that's OTB Pod, and you get 500 XP on your account, and I'm pretty sure that's enough if you're a brand new user. It levels you up to level 2 right away. So download the PLL app, use our code OTBPOD, and you get 500 XP on your account, and keep up to date with everything going on in the PLL this offseason, into the season, and beyond in the PLL app. First things first, Troy Ray, the boy, signs a massive extension through 2028. I mean, he's been a focal point player for the Carolina Chaos since year 1. Love that he got the extension. He had one of the best years, if not the best year of his career last year, so rightfully deserved. So shout out to friend of the program, Troy Ray. Big-time extension. He's going to be a focal point of that team under Roy Colsey and company for years to come. Also, the overreaction to the Chaos tweet saying that they released Josh Byrne into the player pool this week was pure comedy.
Yeah, people trip over that.
Oh,
Sorry.
God.
So listen, my Twitter timeline has been nothing but Michigan basketball for about a week and a half. So
I'll pull up the replies to the tweet.
I haven't seen any lacrosse news, which is really depressing. But at the same time, not, because Michigan basketball's on a heater right now. So yeah, I didn't see anybody tripping about something that makes total sense to me.
You don't realize how many people like very casually watch lacrosse until you read some of the replies to stuff like that, where I'm like, there's one dude that was like, is he done with the PLL?
I have all the replies.
Like, yeah.
Hysterical. Dirk and Guthrie, who's been like a lifelong Chaos fan, great run with Chaos, thanks for the championship. Next reply, who's Josh Byrne?
Okay, buddy.
Next one, likely a Six Nations chief if I had to guess. What makes you say that, buddy? The next one, how are you the premier lacrosse league when a majority of the top players in the game are choosing to play for the man instead of getting on a plane for the traveling show every week? Last time I checked, PLL roster's pretty tough to crack. Pretty loaded. Next reply, all caps. What the hell is this?
I'm not gonna lie, that had me kind of crying when I read that.
That's funny.
Cackling because Deej, if you saw who it was, you would laugh even harder.
No way.
Because it's like a big time like Lacrosse Twitter reply guy. Next reply is the sneezing, crying with the tissue emoji. The next tweet, Deej is gonna get a kick out of this one. Come play for the Woods.
I swear we'll find space for him.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Next one. Guys would rather play MSL than PLL. Debatable. Next one. Oof. Next one. Because he's busy every May. And that was Ian McKay's mom.
Fair.
Valid.
That's acceptable.
Valid. Next one. He's going to choose playing box over getting whacked by a long pole.
Also,
Pause. Oh, that's the funniest one.
oh,
Getting whacked by a long pole. It's just hilarious. That sounds like one of those like Mad Libs. It's like pick an action. Whacked by a long pole.
yeah.
And then your typical douchebag moron. The Rabels are killing field lacrosse. Last time I checked, it's the best it's ever been. You fucking dipshits. Let's see if
You know
there's
they
any.
ain't trying to hear that.
Let's see if there's any good quotes. JB, when the Chaos GM offered him a contract worth $1.3 million less than the Six Nations Chiefs of Major
Yep.
Series Lacrosse League, and it's the
Hey.
siege of the hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
The funny thing is, I know who tweeted that. He's a top tier follow. It's kind of funny.
Oh, I just realized who that was. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
That's funny. Michael Harrison, good tweet. Good tweet. Another, the Ravens are killing field lacrosse. Wrong. The next one, GM at Spencer _S Ford and head coach at Roy Colsey 3 making moves.
Stop it.
Hashtag PLL. Let it be known, too, Josh Byrne had a very positive first interaction with Roy Colsey. I can confirm that because it was told to us. It's just Josh's statement is valid and completely true with what he put out last year. Ryan Flanagan's tweet is just John C. Reilly looking like the Nutty Professor going. Adam Levy, how about that? That's something. To which Uncle Frick said, the only something that is the bag in 6 bigger than the bag in Carolina. And Adam said, yes, we know, as has been the case. Then Frick said, then why is it something? What's the opposite of something? That's what it is.
I'm screaming.
And then the last quote tweet is just, yo. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are the interactions with Josh Byrne being released to the player pool. That a tweet that just simply said, roster update, attack when Josh Byrne has been released to the player pool, got 29.1k views on Twitter.
Dude, you should have seen the thread that someone got into it with Neil Barrett about this whole thing.
Oh boy,
It was hilarious.
do I need to go?
It's like one main thread that kind of broke off into a few, so like we probably don't have time to go through it, but it's hilarious. Like,
Oh boy. Oh, I'm just seeing his thread that got involved with the Homeland Security tweet.
what?
Excuse me.
That's a fascinating event there. Oh, that's funny.
That boy be in some stuff, man.
He be in the mud.
Hey, he's like the dude at the front lines, just like fighting off everybody else, while the rest of us just sit back and just let the doofuses be doofuses.
So funny. Also, PLL news. Pat Spencer's that dude.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
We've been
knew that. I love the PLL quote tweeting the draft tweet from 2019 too, saying real ones always knew.
Hey, first lacrosse player to play another professional sport.
Who'da thunk? Can we also stop comparing Pat Spencer to Jeremy Lin?
Oh my God, please.
Wait, what? Wait.
People are saying Pat Spencer's on his Linsanity run.
What a dumb statement.
Are we stupid or are we dumb? I don't know which one. And I'm not just saying that because like,
both.
but like, Jeremy Lin, yes, Linsanity was cool, but he also like carved out like a bench role for himself for a much longer time than people would have given him credit for. Pat Spencer is like just getting his career off the ground. Like he's a much different story because he quite literally won the equivalent to the Heisman Trophy in lacrosse in the two-hour time. Switched sports with his 5th year, went overseas and like grinded to like get better at basketball, and is now a fixture with the Golden State Warriors, who Steph Curry just has nothing but good things to say about. Oh, and his brother's doing the same thing.
I was going to say his brother's nice, too.
Yeah, his brother is pretty decent.
Also, I'm loving, like, heel turn Pat Spencer, where he's just fucking shitting on everyone.
Yeah.
I did love that the Sixers were on the winning outcome of one of those games, but when he was getting into it with the Cavs fans, oh my God, that was... fucking loved it.
Hate the Cavs.
I was like, that's lacrosse Pat Spencer coming out on a basketball court.
I mean, it was going to eventually.
And then we got Jimmy Butler posting pictures of Pat Spencer playing lacrosse on his Instagram, which is just insane in and of itself.
We got to get Jimmy Butler out to a game, a pro game. He would love it.
He would be in his glory.
Yeah, he would.
With his little coffee cup in hand.
Mm-hmm. hey, potential partner there?
Jimmy. Hey, I always said positive things about Jimmy Butler when he was on the Sixers, and that's a fact. It's on the record. I was pissed when we got rid of him. Always been a Jimmy guy.
This I can confirm.
Always been a Jimmy Butler guy. And sometimes he was the James in the room. Brett Brown once famously said. And a big WLL news week for the Maryland Charm. They have a new head coach, which a lot of people were like, why is this happening? Why are they hiring a new coach? And it's like their former head coach just had a baby, kind of plays a big part, and she now has 2 under 2. Kind of tough to also be coaching, not only Champ Series, but then preparing for the first full season of the WLL in a full season format. And Emily Parros has been appointed head coach and GM of the Maryland Charm. She was the assistant coach at Champ Series for them last year. Now makes the jump to head coach and GM. So congratulations to Emily Parros. One move that she doesn't have to worry about, because my GOAT is hanging him up. Lizzie Colson, calling it a career. She announced that tonight as we record on Wednesday. Lizzie's the fucking best. She's like, when I watched the Unleashed All-Star game in person, like, I was just enamored with her game and, like, the interactions we had at Champ Series, just being able to interview her in, press conferences and stuff. Always just such a delight. She's been such a supporter and, like, big time, like, just advocate for the game. She supports this show. I was literally DMing with her during the recording of this show and, like, congratulating her on just a stellar career, represented the state of Maryland at every level, which is, pretty cool for her and the women's game. Also one of my favorite players because she's a diehard Eagles fan, so go Birds, dickhead. But Lizzie's the best, and she works for the PLL, so she's still going to continue to be around the game and be involved with the growth and development of the WLL, the PLL. I can't say enough good things about Lizzie Colson. She's the best, and I can't express how proud of her I am and just her career and what she's been able to pave, the path for the next generation of women's lacrosse.
Yeah, it sucks that she's done already. Definitely had more years in her, from our opinion. It's always different on the other side as the player. You know exactly what you're going through as a person and what you can and cannot handle. But, from our perspective as fans, she easily had a couple more years left. Would love to see her, continue to play, especially as the WLL continues to expand and grow into what it is going to become. She would have been great to, see go through that growth with the league with. But the years she gave the sport were amazing. I mean, she's done everything you could possibly do in terms of success, playing at all different levels, succeeding at all different levels, showing other young women that they can do the same thing she's done, but also just doing her part in growing the game, going and participating in clinics, showing up to younger games, doing the content pieces and the interviews and playing on the biggest stages. She is the embodiment of what it means to play lacrosse, love lacrosse, and grow lacrosse. And then obviously her support for us has been astronomical and amazing. So huge thanks in that part. And obviously that's not going to go away anytime soon. So really just looking forward to how else she can impact the game from behind the scenes. Once she, to me, there's no better player to advance a game and move it forward than someone who played before and has been at that played at that level before. I think that also makes a difference. She's played at every single level, so regardless of where she goes from here, she'll be able to make that level of lacrosse better, and I think that's amazing. We need more people like that in the sport. So an illustrious career that really is still going, just has been shifted into another role, and she'll continue to make her mark on lacrosse for years to come.
I'm just saying, Lizzie, you got a little bit more free time now. It's time for you to come on that podcast with us. How you doing?
We've been hollering.
She's the best, man. Shout out to Lizzie Colson. One hell of a career. And I'll say it, Maryland Charm legend, Lizzie Colson.
I mean, technically speaking.
Not many people get to ring the New York Stock Exchange bell and be there for the launch of a sports league and suit up for them in the first iteration of them. Streets are saying Lizzie Colson, Maryland Charm legend. So shout out to Lizzie. She's the best, and we will be working to get her on this podcast sooner rather than later. Final thing here, our Spotify Wrapped came in last week, right at the buzzer when Deej and I were finishing up recording. We want to go through the Spotify Wrapped. If we are on your Spotify Wrapped, send it to us. We love seeing that shit. It makes us smile. And as Deej says, vibes and smiles make the world go round. So send us those Spotify Wraps because they are the coolest thing to see. I look forward to it every year, just seeing everybody's. Shout out to the boy Jesse. We were his #1 podcast this year, which is just fucking insane. But he's not the only one either. There's a few more that were #1. But here are the numbies for 2025 in review, boys. Our increase in total audience from last year, we're up 24%. Our total new audience from last year, an increase of 320%.
Wow.
Okay.
And our total increase in followers from last year up 14%. Not too shabby. And our increase in total listening time from last year up 37%. Not bad. Moving on to this one. I want to see if you guys can guess this one. Our most listened to episode this year that was played 58% more than our average episode.
I feel like it's got to be a media day.
was kind of surprised by this, but also, like, not at the same time.
Or could it have been the live?
Had a guest on it, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
PLL season.
Mm-hmm.
Iker.
Yep. Jackson Iker episode.
That's a good one.
Good. I am fucking good.
See, I wasn't shocked that it was a guest episode. I thought it was going to be Rachel DeCecco.
That's also a really good one, too.
Jackson Iker was great on this show. So was JB34, obviously. But shout out Jackson Iker. He got the nod for the top episode of the year. Moving right along, we had a file of the most used emoji on our episodes was the thumbs up emoji. The United States left 6 comments on our episodes, and the most comments were left on January 16th, 2025. I'll have to go back and look at what episode that was. We've reached 8 total countries this year. Our top 5, I was surprised inside the top 3, quite frankly. Number 1 is the United States. Number 2 is Switzerland. Number 3 is Canada. Number 4 is Sweden. And number 5 is the United Kingdom.
What player's parent lives in those countries and is just binge listening to the show?
Who's that one dude from the Redwoods that got drafted but didn't play because he went overseas?
Yeah.
He was probably listening.
Hey, shout out those
I was
countries.
surprised Canada was number 3. I thought they would have been number 2. But shout out to Switzerland.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy.
So here's the crazy part.
We Swiss Army knives.
We were a top 10 show for 52 people. We were a top 5 show for 28 people. And we were the number 1 show of the year for 6 people, you absolute sickos. Choosing to make us your number 1 show is crazy, but simply that we were a top 10 show for 52 people is crazy in and of itself. And to be a top 5 show for pretty much half that is also insane. Shout out to the 6 sickos, including Jesse being one of the 6, who made OTB your number 1 podcast of 2025. Just insane. And our top fans streamed OTB 4.4 times more than everyone else. 15% of our listeners binge 2+ episodes in a day. You 15% are sickos because these episodes are long.
Long as
And a quarter of our listeners hit play within 24 hours a new episode drop. You absolute freaks.
That's the best way to do it. I'm not going to lie.
Endearing use of the word freak.
absolutely.
Here's the fun part. I want you guys... Spotify does this cool thing now where it shows the top artists and audiobooks and other podcasts for our listening audience. I want you guys to try to guess our top 5 music artists of our listeners. Because some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't, and some of it I'm just like, okay.
Kendrick.
Kendrick is number 3.
I'm going to throw a curveball. Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen is number 2.
Okay. I don't want to say Drake, but I feel like enough people listen to Drake. He's got to be there.
Drake is number 1.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So you need 4 and 5.
We got to think. It's probably mostly dudes.
1 is a dude, 1 is a chick.
It's not Sabrina Carpenter, is it?
No, but you're in the right stratosphere.
Okay.
Dua Lipa.
No.
Oh, that's a good guess though.
Good guess.
Not T Swift.
T Swift is number 5. I mean, she was the number 1 artist.
Yeah, it makes sense. It does make sense.
This was number 4.
Oh, number 4. So higher than T Swift?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's a guy.
Is it surprising?
No, not really.
Okay.
He had a pretty big 2025.
I feel like it's got to be a rapper of some kind.
To a degree, yes. More notable as a rapper early on.
Post Malone?
Yep.
That actually is kind of surprising to me. Interesting.
Drake, Morgan Wallen, Kendrick Lamar, Post Malone, Taylor Swift. That's like 2025, like top 40 chart music in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Our top audiobooks: A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones spin-off book. This one, I have no fucking idea what it is. Peter R. de Vries, De Ontvoering von Alfred Heineken.
Excuse me.
No idea. Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, Station 3 by Paul E. Cooley, and rounding things out at number 5, The Way of the Champion by Paul Reed.
Nice.
Now here's the fun part. Can you guess our top 5 other podcasts that our listeners listen to in 2024?
Lacrosse Matrix.
Incorrect.
Oh, I thought for sure that was going to be a hit. All right,
I'll give you a hint. There's one lacrosse podcast in the top 5.
Well, the other one I was going to guess no longer operates, so maybe that's not it.
Who dat?
I was going to say Back of the Bird, but
Oh, no.
they didn't release too many episodes this year, and so. One other, I mean, there's a lot of lacrosse pods now.
And that other lacrosse podcast is number 4.
I know Lax Class has a big listening base, but they don't do PLL though, so that's, yeah. It's got to be someone that does both.
You said it's not a lacrosse podcast, though?
This is the only lacrosse podcast of the top 5.
Oh.
It's they kind of do both, but they more skew feel.
They skew field, but they do both. Okay, so that rules out a lot of box.
TikTok?
No.
Cross Unlimited? No, they don't have a pod, do they?
Sticks in?
That's what I was going to say, too, but no.
I mean, Lost in the Woods, mate. They don't do box though.
Think more traditional journalism.
Well, that's why I said Sticks in, because I thought maybe it was Dan's.
You were warm with that.
Inside Lacrosse?
Inside Lacrosse podcasts.
Okay.
The top 3 make a lot of sense just from the lacrosse audience purview. And then number 5 is just an absolute wild card.
All right, I'm going to take Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's number 1.
Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to be stumped. I only listen to, Smosh?
No.
Oh, I was like, maybe they're joining me on the Smosh train.
I'll give you a hint. 2 and 3 are both Barstool podcasts.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know any of their
yeah.
names, but I don't know any of them.
Most notable. Number 2 is Part of My Take.
That's what
Okay,
that's the
that
only
makes
one
sense.
I do know.
And number 3 makes a lot of sense because there's like a ton of crossover. It's Spit and Chicklets.
Oh,
Okay.
Number 5 is a complete curveball. If you can guess the genre.
Positive affirmations.
No, but like weird parallel similarity. Think complete opposite of that. What podcast genre do all the girls love?
Negative thoughts?
Yeah,
Like
Which are typically portrayed in what genre of podcast, Hoots?
what genre are negative thoughts portrayed in?
Like that's like the main topic.
Wait. Is the podcast hosted by like one or two women?
I don't know because I've never heard of this podcast, but I can
Okay,
find
so
out.
maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
I can find out in 30 seconds. No. Who are these people? It's hosted by two dudes.
There's no shot we get this.
I was like, who the fuck is this? It's crazy.
Who has a negative podcast, I guess is the
It's
question.
not even like that it's the podcast is negative, it's just like the connotation of the genre has like negative aura around it. It's like the original genre of podcast.
I don't know. Was it centered around drama or something?
Think like your nightly news. What's always the big story on the 10 o'clock news?
Death?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's like a homicide, like criminal. What's it called? Help me out.
Crime?
Yeah.
Crime podcast.
Okay.
It's titled Small Town Murder.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it's hosted by the topic description is two comedians look at a small town, what makes it tick, and a murder that took place there. In-depth research, horrible
Dude.
tragedy, and the host's comedic spin on the whole thing. New episodes every Thursday.
There are some sickos that listen to this pod. Holy.
Simply, dude, this is such a big pod. They have 74,000 Apple Podcast ratings.
That's great.
Dude, good for
Simply
them.
because they're in our top 5, we have to try to reach out to these guys. and
Yes.
get them on this show.
Yes.
Be like, where the fuck did the crossover from small town murders and outside the box happen? Who did this? But yes, that is the top 5. It's Joe Rogan, Part of My Take, Spit and Chicklets, Inside Lacrosse Podcast, and Small Town Murders.
Wow.
Wow.
We got a couple of accolades from Spotify. We are considered a 2025 marathon show. Fans listen to you longer than 91% of other shows. We were a 2025 talked about show because we received more comments than 93% of other shows. And we were a 2025 most shared show because we received more shares than 80% of other shows. And there you have it. That is our year, our fans, our story. OTB Spotify Wrapped. Shout out to everybody that listens, honestly. I love when we get the Spotify Wrapped notification because it blows my mind every single year that so many of you listen to this show. Not that I think we do a bad job. It's just crazy that there's that many people out in the universe that know we exist. So shout out to everybody that listens. If you're part of the Sicko 6 and we were your number one show, please send that to us because we want to see who you are and want to just shake your hand and call you an absolute sicko for making OTB your number one listened to show of the year. But yeah, shout out to everybody who listens across the board. We love the Spotify Wrapped, and we got a lot of shoes to fill to get bigger in 2026, and I think we're going to do just that. And I'm excited. And who knows? It just probably means there's going to be more episodes, especially if you all subscribe to the YouTube channel, because then the college show will be on the feed too. Heyo. Any final thoughts before we get up on out of here, boys? A huge episode, but a fun one nonetheless.
Go next.
You know what? When Deej drops his Roughnecks hype, just final thoughts, it reminds me of Cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
That is so funny. Oh, that is perfect.
Cheese is just like, I like chocolate milk. Deej is just like, go next.
Facts. Hey, I mean, it's just like my Roll'em. I got Roll'em for PLL, and I got Go Next for NLL.
Yeah, you be rolling them wrists, all right.
Why are you on that with me, dog?
He's walking around with phone numbers on his wrist.
Yup.
Advertise here.
Yup. Space available.
Your ad here.
This is really so unnecessary.
We're just bullshit with you, bro.
Oh, y'all know.
Hey,
We gotta get our licks in before you out of the country.
hey, Jimmy Butler, feel free to send us wristbands. We know one guy that'll wear them. Big Face Coffee.
Yeah, I'll wear them. Absolutely.
Yo, imagine we just start selling ad space just on our wrists.
Dude,
That'd be so
I'm down.
Hoots is shooting games just like a camera company
Uh-huh.
on your wrist. Hoots is gonna have Ball Arena.
It's gonna be the ball aluminum cans. Just
You're gonna have them as like shoulder pads.
yup.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
You're gonna look like Cletus from Fox NFL Sunday. Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, it's so funny. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at OTB Lax Pod across the board. You can follow DJ's Mexican Adventures on the socials at SCS_next great. Follow Hoots at Hoots Sports Media. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave those 5-star reviews. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Outside the Box podcast YouTube channels, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia, youtube.com/@OTBLaxPod. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And get the OTB channel to 100 subscribers so the OTB College Show gets rocking and rolling in 2026. But this has been episode number 405 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, and somehow 6 of you, number 1 podcast of the year. Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. For Hoots, for Deej, I'm KB. Enjoy the full accoutrement of NLL action this weekend. We'll see you right back here next week. We'll get all of the travel stories from Deej. And we'll see who's winners and losers in Week 3 of the National Lacrosse League. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here, everybody. Peace.
Peace.